Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Nazir daf Zion, Nazir at number 7. The Mishnah says, Amar Harini Nazir Achas Gdola, Harini Nazir Achas Ketana, Feel Mikan Batsofa Olam, Nazir Soshim. No matter what you say, I'm taking a big Nazirus, one big Nazirus, one small Nazirus. Right? You're a Nazir for 30 days. Now, I could have said Nazir Achas Ketana could be a Nazirus for 5 days, let's say. Right? And it's clear from this whole Gemara that we did today that even if you say I'm a Nazir for a 30-day period and 1 hour or 1 day, so you split it up. You have two 30-day periods of Nazirus you just have to have on yourself. Just by saying 1 hour, there's no Nazirus, Pakos Mishloshim Yom. You can't Nazirus less than 30 days. And this is made clear in the Mafarish says over here on our Mishnah, right? The Fisha ain't Nazirus, the Rashi and the Mishnah, Lote Pchusim Mishloshim Yom, I feel Amar Reinos Yom Echad, Hariz Nazir Shloshim Yom, Fisha ain't Nazirus Pchusim Mishloshim. You can't have a Nazirus less than 30 days. Therefore, you say Nazir Achas Ketana, it's at least 30 days. Now, why is that true that you can't have Nazirus less than 30 days, right? If I say I'm a Nazir for 42 days, I'm a Nazir for 42 days, right? That's clear. If I'm a Nazir for 7 days, why can't I be a Nazir for 7 days? Why 30 days, right? All we had a Mishnah on Daf Hey was Stam Nazir Shloshim. It says in Nazirus, we don't know how. I'm hearing Nazir. How long are you Nazir? 30 days, right? Right. We had Rav Masna and Bar Pada. They said 30 days, or it says Nazirus in the word in Torah 29 days. So we don't have a Nazirus less than that, but that's the average Nazirus. But if I specified I'm a Nazir for 7 days, why doesn't that work? So yesterday's show we talked about how it's kind of interesting that Rav Masna and Bar Pada are Amoraim. And we have Tanoim already discussed and gave different sources for 30 days and 29 days. Rabbi Yosha and Rabbi Yonasan had a Braisa. And they have different sources. Rabbi Yosha says 30 days. Apparently, Stam is 0. He meant 30 days because Gadol Pera, right? It's not considered growing your hair long unless it's for 30 days. And the other opinion says Ad Malos Hayamim, right? What's considered a period that you have to fill up? A month. Sometimes a Chodesh Mole. It's a full month, 30 days. Sometimes it's 29 days. So, I questioned yesterday what Rav Masna and Bar Pada were arguing about. The Gemara says maybe Rav Masna held like both Rabbi Yosha and Yonasan, but Bar Pada held like one of them. So, why do we even start off with Amoraim? Let's start off with the Tanoim. And I said kind of a difficult explanation that really the main source is from the Tanoim, the Drasha, and the Amoraim are just giving a remez, a backup, but it's still a little bit difficult. But today I have an answer why there's two different sources. Because the Mishnah on Daf Hey was talking about Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom, meaning if I say any Nazir, how long? We don't know, right? Or is there ambiguity over here? Like he says in this Mishnah, Harini Nazir Achas Gdola, Harini Achas Tani. It's not clear how long he wants the Nazirus for. A short Nazirus, a long Nazirus. Why don't we go after Rove? How long do people take a Nazirus for? Nazirus people take for a year. Some Nazirus people take for 7 years, Because, it's unquantifiable just because, there's not going to be a majority. There's not going to be 51% that take it for a year or something like that. Probably not. So therefore, it's unquantifiable. It's not Nazir Shloshim Yom. So that's Rav Masna and Rav Pada. They're explaining the Mishnah on Daf Hey. How do we know how long it is if you don't specify? So we say 30 days. But it's not clear. It's a suffix. The whole thing remains suffix. That's why you use remez, like I mentioned yesterday, gematria. It's a gematria. Gematria we usually don't use to calculate a drasha, right? 30 days. Or because it says Nazir in the Torah 29 times. That sounds like, not a great source, Because we're not sure. We're ambiguous. So we use ambiguity to calculate how long the Nazirus is. But Rabbi Yosha and Rabbi Yonasan, even though the Gemara seems to say that maybe Bar Pada and Rav Masna are arguing according to them, the reason it didn't bring it until Daf Vav is because even before the Gemara introduced, and probably after the Gemara introduced it also, that was something else. Rabbi Yosha says that in Nazirus has to be at least 30 days. That's what Rabbi Yosha and Rabbi Yosha are. How do you know that in Nazirus can't be less than 30 days? Meaning, that's what they're saying. If I take a Nazirus for 7 days, Rabbi Yosha says, no. A Nazirus for 7 days, or like we have in the Mishnah here on the bottom, on Zion and Aleph, a Nazir for 1 hour or for 1 day makes you a Nazir for 30 days. Why? Because you can't, Rabbi Yosha says, Gadol Para. Part of a Nazirus is to grow your hair long. Growing your hair long for 1 day is not considered growing your hair long. So there's no concept in Nazirus less than 30 days. And Rabbi Yonasan similar. An Malos Hayamim. It has to be a period of filling up days, either 30 days or 29 days. It has to be at least 29 or 30 days. Otherwise, it's not a Nazirus. There's no Nazirus less than 29 or 30 days. According to Yoshi, there's no Nazirus less than 30 days. So that's the source. Yoshi and Yonasan are giving you the source that there's no Nazirus less than 30 days. Rav Masa and Rav Pada are talking about something else. They're talking about when you say Nazirus, already Nazir, and we don't know how long you're taking a Nazirus for. Then we assume it's because we're not sure. It's a suffix. So we use remez and we say 39 or 29. That's what Rav Masa and Rav Pada were arguing about. But Yoshi and Yonasan were telling you, how do you know that Nazirus has to be at least 30 days? Meaning what? If I say already Nazir for 1 hour, or for 1 day, or for 7 days, automatically it's at least a 30-day period, because that's the standard, right? Gadol Pera, 30 days is a growing your hair. You can't have Nazirus without growing your hair long. You can't have a Nazirus without filling up a month. And that is the way of resolving, the proper way of resolving why you need a Machlokas Tanoim and a Machlokas Amoraim. I think it's very clear. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.